Today, Obama has banned offshore drilling in many areas of the Atlantic and the Arctic Ocean. So, the Washington Post breaks it down. They say, quote, Obama used a little-known law called the Outer Continental Shelf Lands Act to protect large portions of the Chukchi and Beaufort Seas in the Arctic and a string of canyons in the Atlantic stretching from Massachusetts to Virginia. In addition to a 5-year moratorium already in place in the Atlantic, removing the canyons from drilling puts much of the eastern seaboard off limits to oil exploration, even if companies develop plans to operate around them. They say, quote, the announcement by the White House late in the afternoon was coordinated with similar steps being taken by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Treadeau to shield large areas of that nation's Arctic waters from drilling. Neither measure affects leases already held by gas and oil companies and drilling activity in state waters. Okay, so basically, they have banned it because, of course, it has terrible environmental effects. And we know that it seems that Obama's doing some things right before his presidency is over, as much as, well, not as much as he can, but more than he would have done before. Let's say maybe before he knew Trump was going to win, because we know that Trump does not give a shit about the climate. He doesn't even believe in scientific fact, which I know you can't, technically that's not the right term because you're just denying fact, which is technically not believing because it still fucking exists and it's right in front of your face. So, they've just tried to do this, I guess, to, obviously help the environment and protect it from drilling, which will cause climate change, hotter temperatures lead to droughts, natural disasters, and unbearable things, right? It also leads to water pollution because it has to deal with oil and gas, the death of many animals and the wildlife in the water. I mean, there is honestly untold amounts of problems with that. And also, it also discourages the conversion from being so reliant on gas and oil to actual renewable energy sources like solar energy and wind-powered energy, hydropower, all that type of stuff. So basically, it's a great thing. It's a great thing because they're trying to preserve and protect the environment with this. And I'm gonna tell you guys some quotes from some Republicans that are trying to, explain how they're so mad and angry. Quote, Senator Ted Cruz responded sharply on Twitter, yet another Obama abuse of power, hopefully one that will be reversed exactly 1 month from today, after Trump's inauguration. Cruz closed this tweet with the hashtag, taking away Obama's pen and phone. Alright, so I would just like to say that I don't understand how you, as an American person, can be like, yeah, Ted Cruz, you're right on this one, man. Because how is it an abuse of power? Who could he possibly be abusing other than companies that find loopholes in the way the climate laws are to purposely go through, drill offshores, drill whatever they can just to, they don't give a shit about the environment, the wildlife, the water health. We just saw the DAPL. There's also one in Texas. I mean, how could you, as an American citizen, as a typical one at least, say, hey, you're right, Ted Cruz? No. Ted Cruz has massive support among these people. I think the Koch brothers were massive Ted Cruz funders, if I am correct. And those are frackers, so they are largely intertwined with these people. So I strongly question it, and I wonder what you guys would have to say if you are saying, oh yeah, Ted Cruz, you're so right, man. He's abusing his power and using it against these suckers. Alright, so they also say, quote, our national security depends on our ability to produce oil and natural gas here in the United States, Milito said. This proposal would take us in the wrong direction just as we have become world leader in production and refining of oil and natural gas and in reduction of carbon emissions. Okay, so that was one of the quotes from a director of, I guess, I don't know, some business upstream director is what it says. So basically, what he's trying to invoke is that there's going to be less jobs And what he's trying to say is that the refining of oil and natural gas and then reduction of carbon emissions. So I don't see how those jobs couldn't be transferred elsewhere. Like, for example, if we switch power to maybe solar power, hydropower, wind power, whatever source it is, I don't see how there couldn't be jobs made in that could be so much more, if not the same amount. Also, to his other point of refining of oil and natural gas, I don't see any refining of yours that you're doing with oil and gas. I don't really see it existing. I don't see it happening. I don't see it existing. I don't see it being put in place. Where the fuck is it? Please tell me. Lastly, his point of reduction of carbon emissions. Bro, you aren't helping reduce carbon emissions, and it's a sad trick that you're playing, and I don't really even get the point of that in your argument. It's not reducing carbon emissions, and that's not even your hope, because that would make people shy away from gas and oil sources, people who have, like, minds and understand it. So your points are flawed and you're bullshitting it because it hurts your pockets. Just be real, bro. It just hurts your pockets, dude. You don't care about the environment. You don't care about water safety, water pollution. You don't care about if the pipelines end up going through people's lands. Offshore drilling can destroy the climate. It can have heat increase, droughts, all this type of good stuff. And he doesn't give a fuck because it won't affect him first. And if he dies, which he will before those effects actually take place, he doesn't give a fuck.